This is Today in New York.
Statistics show that most college graduates owe at least $20,000 or more in student loans. Lynette Khalfani is the author of Zero Debt for College Grads, and she joins us with a look at some ways to minimize payments and get out of debt for good. All right, now let's talk about your book.
Okay.
After the best 4 years of your life.
Yeah.
Right?
And for a lot of people, it's 5 or 6 years. Let's be honest.
You get out, and then reality comes quickly.
Right.
In the form of you need to repay this loan, right?
6 to 9 months, depending on what kind of loans you have after you graduate. It's time to kick in and start repaying those student loans. And people always ask about, well, how can I get rid of them most quickly?
Yeah.
I say bite the bullet now. When young people get out of school, they've got a ton of financial obligations. They're on their own for the first time, the apartment, the clothes, maybe a car payment, etc. And so the thought of paying off enormous student loan debt is particularly onerous for them. But if you can, pick the standard repayment plan. You'll pay off your student loan debt in 10 years or less, and you'll save the most amount of money in interest charges over the long run.
All right, you say consolidate carefully. There's always those offers out there.
And consolidation can be a good thing for certain people, but you do have to be careful about how you consolidate. You don't want to, and you can't consolidate federal and private loans together. And then there's certain types of loans that you shouldn't consolidate. Like if you have a Perkins loan and you're a teacher, you don't want to consolidate that with other types of loans, because then you might lose a tremendous benefit called loan forgiveness, which essentially gives you the right to write off those loans and not have to repay them back.
I thought because I got a job right away out of college that I'd be done paying it in 5 years.
34-year-old father of two, Sean O'Connell, says he's sick of paying the student loan piper. But 13 years later, he's still paying off a $12,000 private loan that came with a high interest rate and now an even higher price.
It's money that I could be putting away to save for my two boys to go away to school.
The reality is that the student loan crisis is affecting millions of Americans well into their 30s, 40s, and even 50s.
But financial author Lynette Khalfani says slashing student loans is not a hard lesson to learn. First, ask, and you may receive.
If I have good grades, if I make all my payments on time, if I get set up on an automatic payment plan, will you lower my interest rate?
Khalfani says that question can get lenders to shave 1 to 1.5% off the loan. Second,
suggest that your employer pay off your student loan.
The federal government pays back $10,000 a year, up to a maximum of $60,000 of each of their employees' student loans, and so will many private companies.
Employers will be more than willing to do this because they want to hire and retain top talent.
Lynette, this is such a bugaboo for kids just getting out of school. They may or may not have a job. They're probably not making a lot of money. This is tough.
This really is. When you think about it, that $20,000 nearly in student loan debt is in addition to all the other bills that they have to pay for. They have to get a new apartment, right? They might have a new wardrobe to buy for the job, utility bills, food, all the costs, the startup costs associated with being on your own. So the student loan debt crisis, and it really is a crisis in this country, does merit a lot of attention.